What up?
What up?
Let's go get right into it today. Let me ask you a question. You ever had a situation where there's something you were pursuing and you practice and practice and practice and you knew it very well, but when it came time to perform, you bitched up. Why?
Or you doubted yourself.
Right. And that's what we call
Imposter syndrome.
imposter syndrome.
I recently had a situation where I was at work. I'm a behavior therapist, and I had to do an evaluation and meet my first client. And the whole time, it was like I've been through all the training. I had already just finished my comp assessment, which is the step you take before you actually get your first client. So I did that. So you think I feel confident about my first, I was nervous, but I wasn't feeling quite confident about my first client. You know, I'm thinking to myself, here I am, I'm a behavior therapist. I worked as hard to get this far and I still don't know if I can do this or not.
Right.
Or if I'm even, I feel like I was faking, like I was pretending.
Faking the fun.
Like
right.
I was an imposter.
Right.
I had I had the look, I had everything else, but I didn't know if I really was cut out for this.
Right.
Now,
Now, what do you think that doubt comes from?
That self-doubt came from just insecurity, just not feeling sure enough. Now,
But why do you feel not?
let me finish.
Yeah.
Now, that's normal to not feel sure, but there's two reasons. It's either you're unsure, in my opinion, you're unsure because you haven't put the work in and gained the confidence, or it's just a new situation and you don't know where you stand yet.
Right.
That's how every situation works. I don't give a fuck how long you've been working at something.
I agree.
You don't know until you know.
Right. I was gonna say the same thing. Like experience I had that I still remember was with the I'm gonna take it back to the music shit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
When we were some of our first performances, we had rehearsed the song the set list so many different damn times, up and down, left and right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I knew every little part of it. You know what I mean? Played the music even in my brain while I was sleeping. Played it in my ears, so I had it in my subconscious. I couldn't have been more prepared. But when it came down to actually performing that day at that stage that I was unaware of, which I'm hinting to something right there, that stage that I was unaware of, I locked up. I froze up. It was like I never even knew the song, right? And what I learned later on in time was my confidence went away. I was super confident with all. I gained hella confidence from all that rehearsing, but the confidence went away because of one reason. I was not aware of my surroundings. So I lost all confidence instantly. So what I started doing was I started familiarizing myself with the actual, with the stage, you know, with the venue. You know, whether it would have been online or whether I could take a physical trip and go take a look around, go walk on the stage, get familiar with it, know what you're gonna be at, know what the place is gonna look like. Familiarity helps with getting rid of that insecurity. That's what I'm trying to hint at. Familiarity. Familiarize yourself with that situation if possible. That's not gonna work in every case, but in that case, that's exactly what cured it for me every single time. Right? I mean, I guess that could have been technically you could have used that even in your case.
Hell yeah.
Like I remember there was a few times I didn't even say that because I also do BT work, and there was a time when I first started. What I would do is they give you the address of where the home's gonna be at that you're gonna meet the client. What I do, I ask questions about what the client, what's his situation, what's her situation. You know what I mean? Let me get to know their personality if possible. Let me go to the house even. Let me drive by the house, see what it's gonna look like. So I'm at least somewhat familiar with the situation. That gets rid of a lot of that insecurity and that nervousness. You know,
exactly.
That's one way to do it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. Imposter syndrome comes in so many different ways with so many different things.
So basically, imposter syndrome, if we could explain it, it would be something. It's the theory of feeling not adequate to something that you should otherwise be adequate for
100%.
or equipped for.
Right.
But it's so, like as I explained earlier, it comes in two different ways. It comes for two different reasons. You know, I've been on both sides of the fence, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, it happens to a lot of us. It happens to the best of them. So don't fret. Don't stress about it if you go through it. If you're going through some imposter syndrome about something in your life right now.
Right.
It happens to everybody. Matter of fact, it's supposed to, because I look at it as like the ultimate test. Do you believe you are what you say you are?
Right.
Then have no fear, like the song says. Because for real, that's the way it works. If you acclaim something, if you command, you say you are something, then you gotta prove that to the universe. You can't just say it. You gotta be that shit.
100%.
And then you'll have it. But it works be, do, have. You gotta be it. You gotta do that shit. You gotta act that shit out. You can't just say it.
We do have, baby.
So the universe, I think that's the universe's way of testing you and seeing if that's really what you want. Because you say all types of shit. We're like when my daughter was a little kid, when she was like all the way up until like 3, all the way until she was about maybe 5, 6, 7. She had this pattern of where she'll try something new, like we'll give her a new book, a new toy, a new movie. You know, when the movie Elsa came out, you know, Frozen, that was an obsession. But then a new one came out. She found a new one. So like you go through these stages of trying these new things, and you're all about it until you realize what you really are, who you really are.
Right.
And that's what the universe gives you, the opportunity to try these new things.
Try on different hats, try on different
yeah.
outfits, try on different energy.
Yeah.
Figure out which one fits for you.
You say that's what you want to be? Okay,
Right.
give you the opportunity to try that on.
Right.
Maybe it's not for you.
And it doesn't make you a failure just because that didn't work out for you. That wasn't for you.
That's a blessing,
You
really,
know?
that in disguise, really. It's
Right.
like, it gives you the opportunity to really try it out before you just go ahead in
Right.
and waste a lot of time and effort.
Right. Because I was going to say, I just want to touch on that real fast, that was something I ran into a lot with the whole trying different things.
Yeah.
Coming from the background we came from when it came to going so hard after something, you know, I used to always like look down on myself when I would try something new and I realized, oh, it's not for me. But the way I looked at it was, I failed at that. I'm a failure now because I failed at that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't fail at it. You succeeded in realizing that wasn't for you.
That part.
You succeeded in realizing that wasn't for you. That's all you did. And you move on to the next thing that you feel compelled, that you feel pulled to. That's it. There ain't no failing. Just lessons. That's it.
And let's say that you do try it and you like it and you realize that this is more naturally suited to you than anything you've ever done. Well, the more you do it, the more confident you're going to become about it. You know what I mean? You're going to become more confident about it. Thus, do better.
Repetition, right? Exactly.
Through repetition, you're going to do better and better and better.
Yeah.
So it behooves you to accept the fact that you have imposter syndrome. Don't fight it. Don't deny it.
Right.
Don't lie to yourself or anybody else about it.
Don't run from it.
The best thing you can do is just be honest about it, accept that, and then work on the parts that you're not confident in
Exactly.
until you become confident.
Right.
So that shit becomes second
And
nature.
the only way to do it is to run to it. Don't run from it.
Yeah.
Run to it. Don't run from it.
Yep, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first started this BT shit, doing ABA and pursuing the RBT certification, there was so many moments where I thought maybe I'm not equipped for this. Maybe I bit off more than I can chew.
Right.
Or maybe just not right now. I wanted to panic. I wanted to turn. I wanted to stop and run.
Right.
I wanted to say no. I've made the wrong decision. But it still is a little voice in my head going, no, you made the right choice. That's why we're here.
Right.
And that's how it works for everybody.
part.
You wouldn't be in the position that you're in if you weren't meant to be in that position.
So I want to say that anytime, and matter of fact, at that moment that
Yeah.
you start to feel that
Remember
you feel it.
You
Think to
wouldn't be
yourself.
there. You wouldn't be where you are.
I
if you
wouldn't
weren't
even
meant
be
to
here if I
there.
wasn't supposed to be here. This ain't no fucking accident.
Yeah.
Accidents like that don't happen in real life.
No, especially
Ain't no accident.
especially if it was something that you decided on for some time ago,
Right.
and pursued it for some time.
Right.
You had the patience and the strength and the ingenuity and the strength
Motivation.
and the focus and motivation to keep pursuing whatever it is you're pursuing
Right.
for that reason.
Right.
Because you know deep down inside this is meant for you.
It's for you. This ain't no accident.
So think about that when you start doubting yourself,
Right.
man.
I'm here 'cause I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
here.
you're here because you're supposed to be.
Tell yourself that.
Yeah.
I'm here because I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, you're
Not
not
by happen chance.
not by accident either.
Right.
You know, so that can help eliminate the imposter syndrome. Just remember that you're meant to be here.
100%.
Whatever situation you're in, if you became a nurse, RN, a motherfucking personal trainer, a motherfucking teacher,
Or a rapper.
or whatever new
Singer.
job it is you got. You know, if you're a stripper, and you worry about falling down, motherfuckers not liking your dance or your get down, whatever it is you do on that stage.
Right.
Just remember, you're here for a reason. So finish strong. Finish what you started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then decide if it's for you or not. At least give yourself that much.
There's no way of finding out it's for you unless you go through with it or not.
I remember when I first became a cab driver. I was a cab driver at one point. I did all the dues and I paid all the fees, did all the little tests, and then they gave me my first car. And they say, go pick up your first client, your first customer. I'm scared than a bitch because I really don't know where I'm at. But they gave me a GPS, gave me everything I needed, but I'm still doubting myself. I'm nervous than a motherfucker. I'm worried about what the first client gonna do, what the first customer gonna do. They gonna rob me, or they gonna tell me they're gone. They gonna tell on me, whatever, get me fired, whatever. I'm thinking all kinds of shit, you know. I was nervous as fuck, man, and Swear to God. And then I get on the highway with this motherfucker, and then the car, just so happens to have some issues with the alignment. And I'm on the freeway. I don't like driving on the freeway anyway, as it is. But I get on the freeway with this cab, and then I stop, and the brakes don't quite stop. And I thought I was gonna run into a car. I'm talking about smoke. On the middle of the highway, on the freeway. And I thought I was gonna wreck my first fucking day.
This is like St. Louis?
This is in St. Louis, man. I was about to say their name, but I ain't gonna do them like that. I'm surprised they even in business still. Did me like that. Sent me on the first day with a car with no brakes, well, brakes that barely worked, I say, and bad alignment. I told them immediately. They worked on it, but that was the bad omen right there. That made me know. Let me know that maybe this ain't for me.
Right.
But then I had another time where I went on a trip with like a supervisor, I guess you could say, or a mentor. So we're going to pick up another client in the neighborhood I'm not familiar with, another side of town in St. Louis. It's on the north side. I'm not really familiar with the north side like that. So anyway, I picked the dude up. This nigga hops out, pulls a knife out on the driver, puts it to the back of his head, looks at me and tells me not to move, and he says, I'm jumping out this bitch and you gonna let me out. Me and him look at each other like, okay, go. We ain't gonna argue with you. Go ahead, nigga. Yeah. He let him out. So that was a free ride for him, but that was scary as fuck for me. That was my second day. So I still go, hey, maybe this ain't for me. Cause my mind, see, that's the thing for me. I'm such a rider like that. I'm gonna ride it all the way out to make sure that I'm not being a pussy, and this just really ain't for me.
Yeah.
So, I just say that to say that there's other things to let you know that maybe they ain't for you.
For sure.
Not just your own mind going, I'm scared. Don't give in to the fear.
Right.
But when things like that happen, then maybe you almost get hurt. That's probably a good indication that maybe it ain't for you, but you gotta at least
try it though, because otherwise you won't know, right?
Yeah.
Fear doesn't necessarily mean that it ain't for you. Fear all the fear is most likely saying is this is something that's unfamiliar. Okay,
Yeah.
no shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But get familiar. At least try to get familiar.
Get familiar.
Yeah.
Then see how you really feel. Then you'll know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This imposter syndrome thing comes about in so many different things. It comes. Everybody's experiencing it. The best of the best is experienced. You know what I mean?
What do you think? Let us know what are some of the things that you do when you think you got a hint of imposter syndrome going on.
Right.
Do you become self-destructive?
Right.
Do you get anxious? Do you drink a lot?
Yeah.
Do you become irritable? Some people gotta take a shit when they get nervous.
Right.
They feel like this ain't for me. I'm scared.
Share that story right now. Whatever that is, share one story right now in the comments. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to laugh at some of these, and I also want to be able to have a discussion about it as well.
Yeah. Let us know what you've done in some situations where you thought you had imposter syndrome about something.
Right. And how'd you get over it?
Yeah.
How did you get over it? Or did you get over it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
For sure. Well, that's that's pretty much the gist of what we're trying to get at right now. Because at the end of the day, on a day-to-day basis, you're gonna run into imposter syndrome at something. You know what I mean? Every day. I'm pretty sure you may even run into it today or tomorrow. Everybody runs into it in every situation. So keep these things in mind. You know.
Don't listen to the fear.
Right.
Don't listen to the fear. It's just it's perfectly natural and normal for these thoughts to pop up.
Right.
Like I said, that's not even really something to go off of, the idea, the initial fear of something until you've actually done it.
Right.
Do it first. Do it anyway.
Right.
Do something that you're afraid to do. Make a list in your head or on paper. Think about some of the things that you're scared to do.
Right.
Try the one that you're most scared to do, and just do it anyway. When's the last time you were scared to do something and just did it anyway?
And make sure to remind yourself, like I said, if I wasn't supposed to be here, then why am I here?
That part.
It's not an accident. You're here because you're supposed to be here.
That part's very, very true. You wouldn't be here anyway if you weren't supposed to be here. So don't listen to the fucking initial fear. The initial fear, nervousness, and doubt is completely fucking normal. I promise you, it's completely normal. Now, after the fact, once you try it, you let me know how you feel. Then you pay attention to that, and then you listen to your intuition, and you act accordingly.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always, guys, like, subscribe, and share. Anybody who might find this helpful, please let them know about it. Please let them know about the DV Twins, and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it might actually help you.
What's that? And this all comes back around to self-care and self-love. Don't doubt yourself anymore from this day forward if you can help it. Try something new, man. Change the pattern. Choose to try to be brave. Use courage for a change. For one time, just give it a shot. No matter how scared you are, just try. As long as it's not life-threatening or detrimental to your life or your health, do it anyway. What's the worst that can happen? Don't think about it too much. Just do it. And then prove to yourself if you're built for this or not. All right? So I just want to leave this with, I love you. Plus, I love myself. But you got to understand that the reason why I'm able to love myself is because I've taken the time to love myself. I don't doubt myself anymore because I love myself, and I deserve to have what I have. I deserve to have the opportunities that are brought to me, that I attract. And that's through self-love. So take some time to love yourself for yourself. Fuck yourself.